Hello, and welcome everyone. How is everybody doing today? Really looking forward to today. I hope everybody's having a great Thursday so far. Looking forward to another beautiful community session today. Welcome everyone on today's live stream that is able to make it. We always like to participate in these events, community events, as they bring a lot of exposure to the crypto space. We are very early in this space, so we lay emphasis on educating crypto enthusiasts about this industry. And of course, we also discuss our ecosystem. We discuss our deployed tokens that we have as well. And these sessions are always all about information, education, and inspiration. So again, welcome everyone that is able to make it to today's live stream. Really looking forward to a beautiful session with all of you. Those that have been with us for a while, you know the drill. I always like to see who is here first, to have a discussion with you, to see who is here in attendance. And then after this, we'll tackle today's topic. We'll go through the session today, and then we'll go full circle. I'll come right back to you and see if you have any follow-up questions in regards to the discussed topic, and then we'll close it out from there. So with that said, let's get straight to today's session. I'm really looking forward to today, and hopefully you've also prepared some questions or feedbacks, or it's also just good to just listen in and get the information and education. But I always look forward to a dialogue. So I encourage you to prepare questions or remarks or anything that is of interest of you that you want us to discuss and break down even further. Use these platforms for these occasions. It's an informal platform. These sessions are for you, the community. It's all about you. It's all about us, so that we are all on the same page. We can be educated, informed, and inspired. With that said, I'd like to really kick off and see who all is here. Grand rising to everyone. My brother Glenn, nice to have you here. Beautiful to have you here as well. What's going on, Bullrun family? Very happy to read about this as well. Greetings to everyone. Welcome everyone on today's live stream. My great brother Theo is here as well. Greetings, Bullrun family. I pray you are all fantastic. I can't wait to get started with this live. Let's go. Also very excited. Looking forward to this as well. Queen Dumi is here as well. Great to have you here. Very beautiful having you here. Welcome to the live stream today. Hi, everyone. Queen Privy, Margaret Frank, nice having you here as well. Welcome to today's live stream. Nancy, good evening, Mr. Steve. Good evening back, Miss Nancy. Nice having you here with us as well. It's beautiful having you here. Shema, wisdom lives inside all who are quiet enough to listen to it. Let's tune in and learn. Community. Great point. Nice having you here as well, Shema. Welcome, Nancy. Who else is here? Oh, Mr. Franklin. Mr. Franklin, been looking forward to this. We bless God for Bullrun family, an information overload hub. Good day, my brother Steve, and thank you for all you do for the community. My great brother Franklin, the privilege and the honor is mine. Always nice having you here. Always very uplifted to see you within the community. Thank you for the positive energy and for your consistency within the community. You are very much appreciated. Everybody else as well. Ms. Sharon, hello family, Bullrun.Live. Excited to be here. Very looking forward as well. We're very excited to be here as well. Hello, Bullrun.Live. Glad to be here. Nice having you here as well. Thank you so much for your support, your encouragement, your and everything that you're doing for the community as well. Queen Patricia is here as well. Good evening, everyone, and a big good evening to Mr. Steve. Thank you again in advance for the information you have prepared for us. Thank you so much as well, Queen Patricia. Always such a pleasure having you here as well. Thank you for your commitment, your consistency, and for always being part of these community events as well. We have Queen Chantel as well. Hello, everyone. It's good to be here. It's a pleasure. It's an honor for us to have you here as well. We are very privileged having you here. Mr. GTG, greetings. First day on platform. Welcome to the community. We are very, very happy to have you here with us. Welcome to the community. Feel right at home. We are glad that you're attending these community events. We're always looking forward to these. We like to make them as interesting as possible, informational, educational. So welcome, and feel free to ask any questions or follow-up questions. Anything you want to know about the platform, feel free to ask. This is the platform for us to discuss it. Thank you for your time to educate us. Cooking with Sally Nontle. Nice having you here as well. It's a pleasure. It's really a pleasure. The pleasure is mine. Always looking forward to these interactions with you, community. Looking forward to these as well. Here's to another Thursday. Looking forward for the informational and inspirational session. Hello, Bull Runners, and thank you, Mr. Steve, for yet another impactful session. Nice having you here as well. Thank you very much for your contribution. So it's really nice having all of you here. It's been really a pleasure. Thank you for all your attendance. It's great. Let's get this started. I'll change my screen and then start sharing with you. Before we get there, I'd like to just briefly go over today's topic. And as we are really anticipating all these approvals and all this, and as we see them, look at the market, what's going on in the market, that's what we're going to do first. Look at the market and then just analyze why is the reason why it's been down so far today. And then we are slowly going to zoom out, look at some articles, current events within the market, within the industry. We're going to dive deep into details and just discuss those topics. And then later on, of course, we'll zoom back in and discuss our ecosystem and then see how we are tackling everything and how we are handling the challenges and the opportunities that present themselves. So I'd like to look at the market first. Let's do that by sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. So first of all, I'd like us to look at the market. It's very important to always take a bigger bird's eye view to look at the market and see, okay, what's going on? Why is the market the way it is right now? What are the causes? As we know, the crypto space, we are very, very early in this space, and it's a very volatile market right now because there is not much liquidity. And one large cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin, is actually holding over 50% of the entire market cap. So whatever Bitcoin usually does, it trickles down to the entire market, and Bitcoin basically dictates whatever is happening in the market. So it's down by almost 5% for the 24 hours. And so is Ethereum. Next, we're going to discuss the reasons why. and then we're going to move from there and get into articles and discuss the market further. So like I said, Bitcoin is the most dominant cryptocurrency in the space, with over 50% of the entire capital market cap. Right now, the market cap stands at 1.37 trillion. It fell down from 3 trillion at its peak 2 years ago, back in 2021 in November. And we've been experiencing a decline in liquidity in the market as people have been taking profits, or all these black swan events that happened with Terra Luna, with the FTX, and with all these other lending platforms that were exploited or had founders or CEOs that didn't have the best interest of the community and took advantage of them. So for whatever reason, the liquidity was drained out of the community, out of the industry, and slowly we were starting to pick up again. However, why is the market down by 4.3%? This is a high number, especially Bitcoin is down over 5%. The reason being is because, like we discussed in our last community event, this crypto space, it's all about anticipation. It's all about emotions. And if we see here, we see the fear and greed index. It's at 77 right now. So it's all about sentiments and anticipation, speculation, mostly. And people were anticipating that the Security and Exchange Commission would approve the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and especially Grayscale won the case against the Security and Exchange Commission. So everybody was in anticipation of the approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs, as the deadline is tomorrow. So, but this didn't take place. So this caused the market to rally artificially and unsustainably, like we discussed in our last community event. This is why you saw Bitcoin running up, and even Ethereum, it was running up in anticipation that BlackRock applied officially today, actually, for the spot Ethereum spot ETF. However, this was now delayed by the Security and Exchange Commission, and due to this, the market has been tanking, responding accordingly. Bitcoin is again once more below 36,000, and Ethereum is again once again below the $2,000 mark. But like we discussed, this was anticipated. This is how the industry works right now. And this is also the reason why the Security and Exchange Commission is really, they're dragging their feet, because they understand that especially Bitcoin is really easily manipulated, because there are big players in the space that can easily manipulate the price because there's not much liquidity in there. So with less liquidity, you can manipulate the price so much easier. And these are the reasons why the market has dropped, because the Security and Exchange Commission, the US Security and Exchange Commission, has delayed the decision, and they postponed it for January 1st, 2024. So there's another 45 days that we have to wait and see whether these ETFs are going to be approved. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when, because in this crypto space, two things play major roles. It's, first of all, it's timing. Timing is very important. And as we are anticipating Bitcoin halving, which will take place in April of next year, we need a catalyst. We need reasons for the bull run to really kickstart. So if the spot ETFs would be approved today or tomorrow, it won't last long, because the timing, it's too early. So it has to, the closer it is to the Bitcoin halving, and all other catalysts are following each other, and we need to really create a momentum. So timing is key, timing is important. And the way we look at this, everything is being lined up perfectly. People, yes, were anticipating the approval, but at the same time, it's only natural that it's not going to be approved so early. It will be closer to the Bitcoin halving, which is next year in April. That's when we'll also see how these spot ETFs are going to be approved. So with that said, let's look at another topic here. With the anticipation, like we said, we're anticipating so many things in this space. And this crypto bull run that is about to happen will be different from the ones we've been experiencing, especially from the last one. The last one has been the largest one yet, and many have made life-changing gains. However, this one will be different for various reasons. First of all, like we discussed, this one will be large because institutions are now getting involved. We discussed how large institutions, payments institutions such as PayPal, they came up with their own stablecoin. They already went through piloting stages successfully and are just waiting for the regulators to make up their minds and set clear guidelines and strategies for them to enter the space. Because they are regulated entities, unlike us, they can't just enter the space. They have to have an approval by the regulators. So this gives us a leg up to be early on into this space. And this is what really sets us apart, that we can really be early on. For the first time, we can have a head start in a new technology ahead of the institutions. So institutions are lining up, Visa, MasterCard, they're all partnering with the major payment companies within the crypto space already, and they're all partnering. For example, Visa partner with USDC, with Circle. They'll be using stable coins to enhance their payment options, their on and off ramping. MasterCard also is in the space. Those are the payment companies. Now, if we look at infrastructures such as Swift, as we know, is an interbank payment system where globally you can transfer funds from bank to bank, and it's an old model from the traditional finance. Now with the blockchain technology, they've been also going through piloting stages successfully, and their Swift will operate much more effectively and efficiently on the blockchain due to certain aspects. Because on the blockchain, there's first of all transparency. You can verify everything on the blockchain. There is no third parties needed to do any audits, because everything is clear there on Etherscan. Secondly, it's borderless. And timeless as well. You don't have to worry about working hours, Monday to Friday, or banking hours, 9 to 5. You can operate on the blockchain 24/7, 365, anytime. And the best part about it, it's cheaper. The transactions fees are much, much lower. And these are the key aspects that go for blockchain technology. Right now, we are often talking about cryptocurrencies, but often people don't realize that it's actually the underlying technology behind it that really sets the pace and makes the difference. So with that said, we're anticipating so many things. Another thing is also the artificial intelligence hype. That's another aspect that is about to enter the space. Another thing that is the largest actually are these asset managers. We're talking about ARK Invest, Fidelity, Temple Franklin, and we're talking about BlackRock, and all these large institutions. They are in the process of tokenizing the entire derivatives market, commodities market, stock market, and we are talking about trillions of dollars that is about to enter the blockchain, and also billions of dollars on daily volume that is about to enter the blockchain. So these all are in anticipation. So the question here today, how are you prepared? How are you preparing yourself as a cryptocurrency, as an ecosystem, as a community? How are we supposed to prepare ourselves to take maximum advantage of this? And the key here is also what's coming are the regulations. Regulations are about to enter the space, and regulations are often looked at in a bad way, but regulations are great and important because the crypto space is filled with a lot of scam, unfortunately, and rug pulls, and this hurt us as crypto enthusiasts, and it also puts a lot of fear in people that want to enter the space. And without regulation, it's a wild, wild west, and there's no accountability on certain actions. Fortunately, we've seen that the Department of Justice or the Security and Exchange Commission has been really suing a lot of bad actors and successfully putting them behind bars. This has really this has been taking place lately, and this is important. Regulations are very important. So with that, I'd like to look at this article. I'd just like us to go through it. There's some very important points that I want us to discuss here. Like we said, Bitcoin halving is only months away, and Bitcoin halving has a huge impact. We always talk about Bitcoin halving. Today, I'd like us to really dig deeper and look at what it really is and what impact it really has for us and in the industry. Right now, like I said, in April of 2024, there's this Bitcoin halving that is taking place. In simple terms, what it basically is, it just reduces the mining rewards because Bitcoin is being mined by large and strong, powerful computers. So the mining output will be halved, and we'll look at the numbers shortly. So, but that's basically what it is. And Bitcoin halving usually, like we said, Bitcoin holds more than half of the entire market cap in the crypto space. So whatever Bitcoin does, it dictates what the rest of the market will do. And this is why also the bull run always kickstarts with Bitcoin first. And usually the largest catalyst of the bull run is always the Bitcoin halving. And let's look at the past, because next year's bull run, Bitcoin halving is the fourth one. So there have been 3 prior. Now let's look at how they've been performing, what effect the Bitcoin halving really has, because we often talk about it, but we haven't really looked at some real numbers. So the first Bitcoin halving that took place was in 2012, and it resulted in a 10,000% increase. Back then, one Bitcoin was only $11, and it jumped after the Bitcoin halving. It jumped from $11 to $1,150. So this just shows how impactful the Bitcoin halving is. It really has a great impact. And the second one took place and before I go through this, I always need to mention, in this crypto industry, it's all about cycles. There is boom cycles and bust cycles, better known as bear market and bull market. Your takeaway in this is that during a bear market, liquidity is being drained, taken out of the industry. People are taking profits, or individuals are exiting the market, the crypto space. And during a bull market, that's when liquidity enters the space. People have residual income. People are euphoric and are really entering the space in hopes of making gains. During the bull run, there's a lot of excitement, and there's a lot of liquidity in the space. And we'll look at these numbers, and this just shows you how effective it is. An increase of 10,000% within 1 or 2 months. That's huge. So the second one was in 2016, and this resulted in 3,000% increase. That's when Bitcoin started the year at $650, and it ended it at $20,000 per Bitcoin. Now the last one was in 2020, the Bitcoin halving, the third one. It came up 630% increase. You might ask yourself, why does the percentage keep decreasing? It started with 10,000%, then it went to 3,000, now it's at 630. It keeps decreasing. This is because what we looked at the market, we discussed earlier, the market is always anticipating things. The first Bitcoin halving, nobody knew what was about to happen, but with more and more Bitcoin halvings, people already factor that in. People already anticipating that that's going to happen, so people act accordingly. And the crypto space is very emotional, based on sentiments, and based on news. And so this is why you see the number has been steadily in decrease. However, it still made a large impact. The third one you see in 2020, Bitcoin went from 8,800 to 64,000. So you still see that it really has a major impact in the industry, and that it plays a major role, and it is the major catalyst that will trigger the bull run. But besides all that, it's more than that. This time institutions are coming into play. Like we discussed, established mainstream payment institutions are entering the space. The entire commodity stock market is a derivatives market. The entire financial market is about to enter the crypto space as well. And this will bring with it even more liquidity than ever before. So this will be a huge bull run that has never been seen before, due to the additional institutions and other infrastructures that are entering the crypto space and bringing volume and liquidity with it. So this is very important to understand, that this time when you go through a bull run, you want to establish yourself and make the best out of it, and make sure that you are prepared, your institution, your community is prepared, the platform is prepared, and also that your cryptocurrency is prepared and it's built, it's developed to take advantage of this, because it's once every 4 years. It's all based on cycles, as you saw here. So with that said, I'd also like to highlight some things here. Let's get to this. The crypto space is very dynamic, and it's really rapidly changing, especially if it comes in terms of compliance and regulations. So the shift towards stricter regulations and oversight, this will really bring a balance into the crypto industry, because right now there is a lot of chaos, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of fear, a lot of scams. But once the regulators are really coming in and tightening the regulations, it will really make a difference, and it will change how cryptocurrencies or projects, how ecosystems are built, and what their focus is all about. Now, it will be more than just innovation in the crypto space. Investor protection and financial stability, this will play major key. Once regulation is in place, investor protection and financial stability, these two things will be key. So this change will not be just a matter of compliance. This will be a matter of sustainability and strategic management of community, and working in the best interest of the community. Investor protection will be the number one key, and keep that in mind, because that we'll discuss further. We'll get more into details with that. So it also represents the fundamental shift in how crypto businesses must operate. So the entire mindset of how crypto projects will be forced to operate will be different. Companies need to stay abreast of these developments, and new regulations could be implemented before the halving happens, like we just discussed. So companies just focusing on the Bitcoin halving instead of focusing on the legislative changes will suffer major consequences. Now, this is where it gets interesting. If you have to have a balance of innovative compliance and to still have those who focus on compliance will have a competitive advantage. And as regulations become more and more complex, crypto companies that proactively integrate compliance into their business models and technology infrastructures will likely find themselves ahead of the curve. So these are very important points. Now, for crypto companies, the challenge is to innovate while adhering to these new rules, turning regulatory adherence into a strategic asset rather than a burden. What does this mean? Right now, Nobody has any guidelines. There are no clarity. There's not much clarity in the space. Everybody seems to do what they feel like with no accountability. Once regulations are in place, now projects will be held accountable, and those that have clear strategies and focusing on client protection, like we saw here, investor protection, and have strong financial stabilities, meaning strong fundamentals and sustainability in place, those will be the ones that will really take charge and lead the industry. Now, another thing here, success in this new era demands being proactive. So you have to anticipate things. You don't have to wait until the regulations are here. You had to look at the market beforehand and ask yourselves, what are the challenges currently in the marketplace? And we always discussed these. And even in the last event, we identified even just two of them. We identified inflation, we identified liquidity, and then we talked also about the sustainability aspect of it. All those three aspects are right here in this article. And these are part of the regulations that will have to be compliant about once they are put in place. And we will be ahead of the curve, because when we develop this platform, this ecosystem, we develop them with liquidity in mind, with sustainability in mind, with having deflationary aspects in mind. And all those things are all about investor protection. It's all about building something for the long term that is sustainable. And these will be put, once the regulators are tightening up, this will be mandatory. This will be a must for all the projects to abide by. And if those projects don't have such smart contracts or strategies implemented, they won't be able to operate in the space. So always pay attention to that as well. So instead of struggling for the survival in this strategic evolution, this will distinguish the leaders in the post-halving and regulated crypto landscape. So once the halving has happened, once the regulations are put in place, who really lay the most emphasis on investor protection? This is why also the SEC keeps dragging their feet. Why do they keep dragging their feet in approving this Bitcoin spot ETFs? It's because it's all about investor protection. They understand that it's very volatile, and they also understand that Bitcoin is suffering heavily from a liquidity crisis. We will get to this later on. But these are the reasons why the regulators are dragging their feet, because they don't want to put investors in harm's way, because they understand that Bitcoin poses a high risk because of the liquidity crisis that it has. We will get there. We'll get there later on. So what are we taking away from this article is that regulations, Bitcoin, the technology, digital ledger technology is here to stay. The blockchain technology is here to stay. Entire financial infrastructure is about to enter the crypto space. The blockchain technology will be used primarily to enhance and to make the entire financial system more effective, more transparent, cheaper, more accessible to billions of people, and in a more efficient way that is transparent and can be traced and tracked on the chain. So this is the future. So with this in mind, regulations will be put in place, and these regulations will be the standard, and all cryptocurrencies, all projects in the crypto space will have to abide by these regulations. And if you're part of an ecosystem or cryptocurrency that is not thinking forward, is not forward thinking, and proactively had already prepared strategies and implemented mechanisms in place to ensure that the major challenges within the crypto space, which are liquidity, inflation, and lack of sustainability, we are addressing all that, and we'll get into that by the end of the session. However, those are the three major challenges. We are not even discussing about the 3.5 billion last year that have been lost due to investors lost over 3.5 billion due to rug pulls and scams, and that's a whole other topic as well, but we're also addressing that as well. So this is the takeaway from this article, that blockchain is the future. Large institutions are entering the space. Payment processing institutions are entering the space. The entire financial market is about to enter the space. And with that, regulations will be tighter. There'll be more rules that we have to abide by. And if you want to be ahead of the curve, you have to be part of a community, of an ecosystem that is proactively thinking ahead and have implemented mechanisms and strategies that is all about investor protection. And that's how are you achieving that? By ensuring that you're responding, or you have solutions for the liquidity crisis that we just saw here, and we will get into details. You have solutions for the inflation that is happening, and you have a solution for a sustainable cryptocurrency, a sustainable platform, a sustainable ecosystem. So this is the takeaway of this article. Just briefly on this next article, the first ever bank in Germany just got license. It's a full service bank, meaning it's not just getting your deposits, but it gives you credit as well. They're doing lending, they're doing all kinds of things. They are the first bank, Commerzbank in Germany, that just got license. Why am I sharing this article with you? This is just to show you how early we are in this space. In Germany, this is the very first bank, institutional bank, mainstream bank that has received a license to operate digital currencies. To receive a license in Europe, it's extremely hard to get one. And they are the first to get it. And it's important to understand what role this bank plays. It's one of the larger banks in Germany. And right now, the reason why they got it is because they came with they want to use the blockchain technology that will be more effective in reaching or expanding or scaling their daily operations. And this is what we were discussing. This is why you see all these large institutions, large money managers, large payment institutions. Everybody wants to come on chain because it's more effective, it's cheaper. You can reach more people globally, borderlessly, in a cheaper way and more transparent way. And you don't have to worry about banking hours Monday to Friday or any holidays that things are closed. It will be more efficient for them, and they'll be making more profits also due to this. So why am I sharing this with you? Is to show you that we are very early in this space. And this is the first bank in the entire in Germany that got the licenses that they can now offer full service with digital assets. So that's how early we are in this space. And this is why the reason why they also got the licenses, they are regulated. They have a history with the regulators. They're all about consumer or investor protection. They are compliant. And these are the things that down the road are about to come. And these are very important things that right now in the crypto space, nobody seems to really worry about or lay a lot of emphasis on. And this is why you see a lot of lawsuits going on back and forth with the Department of Justice or with the Security and Exchange Commissions. And that's why it's very important to be proactive, forward thinking, and being innovative in anticipating that regulations are coming, and develop a platform that is all about investor protection, that is all about the best interest of the community, that is deflationary, sustainable, and is retaining liquidity for you. This is the takeaway of this article. If we look at the next article, we see that the news is talking about the last 90 days. Apparently, a lot of capital inflow has been coming in the last 17 months. If you look at it first, it looks like a really great news. However, we all know that it was all about anticipation. It was in anticipation, of the Bitcoin ETFs and lately the Ethereum ETFs, and this is why you saw the last 90 days a lot more inflow of funds have been entering the space in anticipation and speculation of the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, etc., etc. And as it's been delayed, the market responded accordingly, and that's why we are down over 4% in the market right now. So those are the reasons why. So if you read news like this, at first glance, it looks positive, but you have to understand that this was due to the anticipations that were happening in the space as well. However, the takeaway of this article is what we also had discussed before. What will really trigger and play a center role in this upcoming bull run will be the stable coins. Stablecoins will play a major role in this upcoming bull run because, like I said, to enter the crypto space or to exit the crypto space, you need a stable currency, and stable coins, just like the name suggests, they are the ones. So once you made your profits, you will want to exit, and you'll need a stable coin to exit, because it's with a stable coin that you can also swap to fiat and then get your money out through the bank, or just keep it within the crypto space and load up your card. For example, if you have like a Binance card or a crypto.com card that you can put your crypto on and then use it in real life. So stable coins will play a major role, and this is why you see even PayPal created their own stable coin. You'll see banks starting their own stable coins as well. You'll see nations coming up with their own, they call their CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. So this is the future. This is what's going to happen. And even the top largest stable coins, like we see here, they're all US dollar denominated. Like Tether, USDT, USDC, BUSD is actually running out. They're not allowed to be issued anymore, but DAI is the next one. So the top stable coins are all US denominated. And so for everyone thinking that the US dollar is about to be extinct, or the US they're dragging their feet, actually they're completely dominating in the crypto space. And the cryptocurrencies with the most use case right now are stable coins, and they will play a major role in this upcoming bull run, especially because, like I said, the entire financial industry is about to come on chain. The entire payment industry is about to come on chain, and we will need a lot of stable coins to accommodate the inflow and the outflow of the funds. So this is why stable coins will play a major role. And this is good news for us, because we are paired with a stable coin. We are paired with USDC, and also our staking distributions are given out in USDC as well. So that plays a major role for us. And the more the stable coins play a center role, it's good for us, because we are all about stable coins as well, especially USDC. And USDC is highly regulated. Their funds are actually managed by BlackRock, which is also regulated by the SEC, licensed. They have a great history, track record with the regulators. So that's very important for us as well. So the takeaway of this article is that stablecoins are about to play a major role in this upcoming bull run, especially due to entire industries coming on chain, and they will need a stable cryptocurrency that they can interact with. So this will be basically a digital form of the fiat currency, the US fiat currency. So this is why the US dollar is completely dominating in the crypto space, because the top crypto stable coins are in US denominated. So the takeaway is stable coins are key. They will play a major role. They are already playing a major role in this space. And we are paired with USDC, and we are issuing USDC as staking distributions as well, if you stake your Bullrun token. Now, this next article talks about how Bitcoin whales are increasing. However, the BTC are not to exchanges continues to fall, meaning that more and more whales are removing their funds from centralized exchanges. And what does this mean? Why are whales removing? And for those who don't understand what whale is, whale are those who are holding a large amount in hundreds of thousands, if not millions or billions, worth of Bitcoin, worth of cryptocurrency in their portfolio. So these are large players, mostly institutions, pension funds, or just high net worth individuals that are removing their funds from exchanges. Why is this? Why are they doing this? There is something called OTC, over-the-counter. Over-the-counter crypto trading is a type of cryptocurrency trade that takes place between two parties without the use of an exchange. So in an OTC trade, the buyer and seller negotiate the terms and the trade, including the price and the transaction settled outside of the exchange. So this might be confusing to you. Like, what do you mean? So what is Coinbase for? What is Binance for if there's an OTC, over-the-counter trade? Now, this is where this article comes into play. Whales, they understand the danger. They understand liquidity. And they understand the reason why they don't want to use exchanges, because like you see here, exchange balances reach lowest point in half a decade. So in the last 5 years, it reached the lowest point. Liquidity, Bitcoin is lacking, is really into a liquidity crisis. I'm saying Bitcoin specifically because Bitcoin holds more than half the percentage of the entire crypto market. So if the largest cryptocurrency, which holds half of the entire market cap of the entire industry, is having a liquidity crisis, we need to pay attention, because whatever Bitcoin does, everybody else does. This is why you see these large institutions, they're not putting their liquidity into exchanges, because there will be the exit liquidity. So what they do, they trade amongst themselves. This is why you see them removing their funds from exchanges into their personal wallets, and then they're trading amongst themselves. They call each other up, tell you, okay, I'll buy from you off the exchanges. I'll buy Bitcoin from you or Ethereum from you for this or this amount. Off the exchanges is between two people who decide the terms amongst themselves. So what does this mean? This adds to more trouble, because that means the liquidity always remains outside. And the reason why these large institutions don't want to buy on the exchanges is because there will be the exit liquidity. The existing holders will be using their liquidity to exit. So this is why they take the over-the-counter route. They're trading amongst themselves outside of the exchanges. Large exchanges are not being used. So keep this in mind. Now, on the flip side, in anticipation of all this, like we just read in this article, right here, in anticipation of the last 90 days, we saw that whales, again, those who spend more than 100,000 and above in worth of Bitcoin, this is why you saw Bitcoin pumping and the price really kicking off, because the whales were manipulating the market in anticipation of causing FOMO and causing people like us, retail investors, to jump on the bandwagon and put our hard-earned money into Bitcoin and be the exit liquidity. For this strategy to work out, they need small investors. Note, new and small investors' participation is a necessary condition for a sustainable bull market in crypto assets. So the takeaway of this article is that the reason why you see the regulators dragging their feet in issuing these spot Bitcoin ETFs is because they understand that Bitcoin is going through a liquidity crisis, and they're all about investor protection. They understand that if they would issue it, and they're telling you here they need new and small investors to have a stable and sustainable bull run. Why would you need and rely on retailers such as you and myself if you already have big players? This is because the big players don't trade on exchanges like retailers do. They trade on OTC. They don't risk their liquidity in the exchanges. They don't want to be the exit liquidity. So they trade amongst themselves, over-the-counter trading. They let retailers such as you and myself be the exit liquidity. They're smart. They don't want to be the exit liquidity because they understand that no way I'm putting billions of dollars in Bitcoin. I know it doesn't have any liquidity. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin has liquidity of 875 million. That's the liquidity, 875 million. If BlackRock comes, BlackRock has right now 10 trillion under asset management. So why would BlackRock buy directly from the exchange? And there's only 874 million in there. They have 10 trillion under asset management. So if they're buying Bitcoin, they'll be buying in the billions, tens of billions. But there is not even enough liquidity for it. So if they would do it traditionally through the exchanges, these individuals will be very happy because there are 6 Bitcoin billionaires. They don't have enough liquidity to get out. Like we just saw, there's only 881 million in liquidity. So these billionaires are waiting for retailers such as you and myself to get in, be the exit liquidity for them so that they can exit. Because smart money, which are large institutions, they're using over-the-counter. They're not putting their liquidity in exchanges. They want retailers such as you and myself to put money into the exchanges so that these billionaires can exit, they can get out. So this is why I want us to really, be informed about these things, that the market is being manipulated. And this is why you see one day we are up, the whole market is up by 10%. And there's nothing special that happened. It's just in anticipation. It's just based on sentiments. So we need to be aware of these things, that the market is emotional. The sentiments play a major role. It's all about anticipation. And we need to really be aware of these things. And also, in regards to the largest cryptocurrency, we have to understand that we are suffering from a Bitcoin liquidity. Bitcoin is suffering from a liquidity crisis. And this is why large institutions, high net worth individuals, they don't use exchanges. They're actually removing their funds from exchanges and purchasing over the counter, meaning one calls the other friend and then they exchange money that way, knowing that Bitcoin is going through a liquidity crisis. And there's no way they're going to put their money into an asset that is suffering from liquidity. So this is the picture I just wanted to paint, because this is the current state of the market. This is the current condition we are in right now in the space. And this is the reason why we are suffering from it. And just for the sake of it, very important is to understand, what do you have to look for in the space? Look for something that has a high liquidity to market cap ratio. Look at a project that is retaining liquidity for you, because like we understand, if the largest cryptocurrency in the industry is going through a liquidity crisis, what does this tell us about the crypto space? Because Bitcoin holds half of the entire market cap of the industry, and it's suffering from liquidity. That means many more altcoins, like Ethereum, is not safe as well. All other altcoins are suffering the same. It's not just a Bitcoin problem, it's an industry problem. So with that in mind, this is the one calculation we would like to do. I'd like to just demonstrate this. You have to understand there's something called liquidity to market cap ratio. That is something very important. The best way to explain how it is with a bank account. Right now, if you go to your bank account and you deposit a certain amount, let's say you deposit $500 in your bank account, and the banks are not required to have a full backing, a full reserve of the deposits deposited by the customers, bank customers. So if many people decided to go and withdraw their funds at the same time, the bank will have to close their doors because they don't have enough money for you to withdraw, even though it's your money, but they don't have it on site. So this is the same issue right now with Bitcoin. A lot of depositors deposited their funds there, but there's not enough funds to go around. So it's whoever sells first will get their money out, and whoever is remaining will have to go at a loss. So that's why it's important that you are part of an ecosystem, of a project that has mechanisms in place strategically, like we saw in this article. They were talking about consumer or investors protection, and regulations are about to come in place. And this is why it's important that crypto projects, communities, ecosystems are proactively forward thinking and developing projects based on consumer or investor protection with the best interest of the consumer. And if you are not already having these items in place, strategies in place, mechanisms in place, you will be forced to shut down because the regulators will be tightening up, and they will demand that these projects, these ecosystems, have consumer protection strategies that are compliant and based on high standards that will protect the consumers. And this is the reason why these spot ETFs are not being approved, and the regulators keep postponing them and delaying them. And that's why you see the market manipulation. In anticipation of these approvals, you see Bitcoin price going up, and if they're delayed, it dumps right back down. So and also the point here was like the real money understands that the crypto space is lacking liquidity. That's why they don't even use exchanges like we are, retailers. They're doing everything over the counter. They're trading amongst themselves outside of the exchanges because they don't want to be the exit liquidity. So if they are smart money and they don't want to be exit liquidity, why should we? Why should we? So you don't have to do that. You have to be that. And these are the items that we as a platform, we as an ecosystem, now that we can zoom in and understand what is Bullrun all about, what is our ecosystem all about, why are we always stressing and talking about liquidity. I hope today you understand the importance of liquidity, because our largest cryptocurrency in the industry that holds more than half of the entire market cap is draining and is going through a liquidity crisis. So I wanted to do the calculation just for you to understand. The way you calculate liquidity to market cap ratio is you take the liquidity, which is 891 million, and you divide that by the market cap, which is 703 billion. You multiply this number by 100 to get the percentage. I'm sad to say, but this is pathetic. Our largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, has a 0.12% liquidity to market cap ratio. The closer it is to zero, the worse it is, meaning that those who put their money in are in high danger and they can't withdraw it. And like we said, Bitcoin has 895 million in liquidity right now, but it has 6 billionaires. So it only takes 1 billionaire to crash the entire Bitcoin. And on top of this, they also have where is it? Right here. They also have 78 so-called centimillionaires, meaning they have 100 million and above. 78 of them. So if 8 of them decide to reshift their assets, this will be the end of Bitcoin. And remember, this is the largest cryptocurrency in the space. It holds half of the entire market cap. So whatever happens to Bitcoin, it will destroy the entire market. And this is a cryptocurrency that is known for its liquidity crisis. This is why large institutions are going through the OTC, over the counter. They're not trading on exchanges because they know that Bitcoin is going through a liquidity crisis. And this is also why the regulators are dragging their feet. They will not approve this because they want to protect investor protection. So with that said, if we look at our liquidity to market cap ratio, just to highlight how our infrastructure, our mechanisms that put in place are pro investor protection and are pro retaining liquidity, we can do the math. Keep in mind 0.12%. If we do ours, we take the 195,000, we divide this by our market cap, which is 289, and we multiply by 100. So we are sitting at a 67.5% liquidity to market cap ratio. And this is with low volume coming out of a bear market. This is the lowest of the lowest we can get. It can only get better from here. And we're still sitting at over 67% compared to 0.12 of Bitcoin. So if we talk about liquidity and how we are tackling it and how we are solving the liquidity challenge, it is because it's a crisis. And regulations will come in. Once regulations are in place, the first question of regulators will be, what is your project doing to protect consumers? What mechanisms are in place to ensure that there is a financial stability, there is sustainability in this project? How are you ensuring that once depositors want to exit, how are you ensuring that there will be enough reserves in there for them to exit? These are the questions the regulators will ask you. And if you have no answers to these questions, you'll be shut down and you won't be able to operate legally on the blockchain. So in anticipation of this, because we're forward thinking, we already developed a platform that does just that focuses heavily on retaining liquidity. And it does that in 3 different ways. One way is the obvious way, through trading, through taxes. We have a 6% buy and sell tax. 3%, which is half of the taxes, go towards retaining liquidity. And this is why we have such a high liquidity to market cap ratio, over 67%. And keep in mind, the largest cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, had a 0.12%. So this just shows you that we're in the space to solve challenges that we identified in the industry. If you ask yourself, what's the added value? What value are you adding into the space? What problems are you solving? There are so many cryptocurrencies around in this space, 26,000 just on Ethereum blockchain alone. What will set you apart? Are you just another cryptocurrency? Or are you in the space to really solve an issue, solve a challenge? And we can proudly answer, yes, we are here to solve a challenge. We are tackling the liquidity, the inflation, the sustainability challenges, all of that, we're tackling that. So one way is through taxes. The other way we retain liquidity is through our NFT boosters. These boosters serve to, like the name suggests, they increase your USDC distributions. So we incentivize stakers to purchase these NFTs to enhance their USDC distribution. If you only stake your BRL, you receive 70% of the distributions. But if you purchase a maximum of 5 of these NFTs and stake them as well on our staking platform, you receive 100% of your USDC. And these NFTs are unlimited, meaning that they are an scalable and unlimited source of revenue as we grow as a community, as an ecosystem, we will always have revenue. We'll be generating revenue from the sales of these NFTs. And this is how we used 100% of the revenue generated from these NFTs to add to the liquidity. So this is the second way how we add to our liquidity. This is why we have such a healthy liquidity to market cap ratio. The third and final way how we do it is by staking our 10% BRL tokens that we put away as reserves. It's being staked and it's accumulating USDC tokens as well. And this is done in a sustainable manner because you only receive the distributions based on the volume, based on the success of the platform. The more the platform is being used, the more the token is being traded, the more USDC distributions it accumulates, the more tokens it burns, and also the more liquidity it retains. Now, I'd like to go further and also show you that in order to have a sustainable ecosystem, people need to also, the community needs to trust your token as well. So the number one wallet, as you see here, is our staking contract. This is a smart contract. This is not just a wallet. So 55.6% of the total supply, which is right now at 542,000 BRL tokens, are being staked right now. Then they're being staked in the staking platform, meaning that they're not getting sold anytime soon. The remaining 33%, wallet number 2, is another smart contract. This is the liquidity pool. This is where our burn, we have a 1% burning mechanism. This is where the tokens, the BRL tokens, are taken away from. So we have a very deflationary mechanism where we started with 1 million tokens, as you see here. And instead of minting more tokens and diluting the supply, we went from 1 million tokens. Now we are down to 974,000 tokens. So we've burned over 25 tokens in a bear market, during a bear market with low volume. So we address the inflationary issue. That's a challenge we tackle. We tackle that by implementing our burning mechanism that removes tokens from the total supply, making us extremely deflationary. Deflation means value over time. We are retaining liquidity. We just saw how our largest cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin, is going through a liquidity crisis. We even calculated the liquidity to market cap ratio. It's a 0.12. It proves that yes, it is an issue. We saw how smart money, institutional money, we are all anticipating these ETFs to come, but we will not see any of that going through exchanges. All that liquidity is not going to come through exchanges because smart money is not using exchanges because they understand that Bitcoin is going through a liquidity crisis. They don't want to be the exit liquidity. So if smart money doesn't want to go through exchanges and be the exit liquidity, why should we? Aren't we smart money as well? The answer should be yes, we are smart money. We don't want to go through tokens, through projects that make us the exit liquidity, but we want to be part of communities of projects that actively have a mechanism in place that is actually retaining liquidity for us. And this is what we want, and this is what we have in the space. And this is the message for today, community. I just wanted to paint a picture that we are facing right now. First of all, the market is very sentiment-based, based on news, sentiments, speculations, anticipation. And our largest cryptocurrency is going through a liquidity crisis. And this is why we have to be different. In this article, we clearly read that success in this era will demand being proactive, and that the survival will be to be strategically inclined, we'll have to think ahead, be proactive. We'll have to have investors' protection in mind. We'll have to be tackling certain challenges within the space. We have to be set apart. We have to think differently. We have to be innovative, and we have to do things that are not being done in the space right now. And with all this, I hope you get the bigger picture of the current events in the industry. You understand why big whales are not taking the money out of exchanges. This is because they're not using exchanges, excuse me, but rather they're going through over the counter because the lack of liquidity of Bitcoin. And this is not just a Bitcoin issue, this is an industry issue. This is why if you hear us talking about being liquidity kings, focusing on liquidity, solving the liquidity challenge, this is because we identified that that's the number one challenge in the space. It only takes one billionaire, there's 6 of them, and they would crush the entire Bitcoin cryptocurrency. So keep this in mind whenever you do your research, whenever you look for projects, keep that in mind. It's very important. Same thing goes for our other tokens, our Survivor token, our Killer Whale tokens. They're all very deflationary, and they all have the same principles and standards, just like the mother token Bullrun. And this is very important. So the takeaway message of today, community, was once regulations come in place, and they will come in place because all these large institutions, entire infrastructures are about to come on blockchain. Once regulations come in, is your community, is your ecosystem or your cryptocurrency, is it developed in a way that it serves consumer or investor protection? Does it retain liquidity for you? Does it solve that challenge? Because it's an obvious challenge that we're facing right now. And do you want to be the exit liquidity? Because smart money is going through over the counter. They're not going through exchanges. We are going through exchanges. Now, ask yourselves this question. And I hope today you have a better understanding of how the market is working right now, how smart money is trading among themselves, not using exchanges. And this is why you see the whales actually taking their money from exchanges and avoiding purchasing Bitcoin on exchanges due to its lack of liquidity. So I hope this message today was of help to you. It opened your eyes better. It brought you more awareness, what to look for in the industry, and what to stay away from. I hope it also highlighted the reason why we stress and we emphasize on liquidity, on being deflationary, on giving back to the community based on volume and based on the transactions that are being accomplished on our platform. And this is very important for us. Just wanted to paint a bigger picture of our industry. What are the challenges? What are the deficiencies we are facing in the space? And that is, number one is liquidity crisis. And number two is the inflationary aspect of tokens. These two issues are the byproduct of unsustainability of projects. And we are tackling all three of them. Plus the fourth one, what we're tackling is the security aspect of it. We are launching our own community tokens that we have. So it's very important to understand this, that if you're looking for a project, look for one that is forward thinking, that is proactive, that has already implemented certain strategies and mechanisms in place, that is pro investor protection, and that serves the best interest of the community. Because once regulations are coming, a lot of projects won't meet the standard of protecting the investors, of accumulating liquidity, of being deflationary. Those are the key issues that we are facing. And this is why you see the SEC always dragging their feet, because they understand that this poses market manipulation issues, and it poses liquidity issues. And this is why they want to serve the community's best interest, the investors' best interest. And this is why they're dragging their feet. So this was the message for today, community. Let me share my message, my screen again with you. Let me get back to you and see if you have any follow-up questions. And I hope there was some new enlightenment that you received from today's message. It's very important for us to understand what the market does, how our industry works, understand the challenges that we're facing in the space. These are not mainstream topics that you hear from other channels that they discuss them in details, because they want to create a sort of FOMO, which is fear of missing out, that we should all go ahead and buy Bitcoin. Whereas smart money, large institutions, they're not even using exchanges to add liquidity to it. So why add into something that doesn't retain liquidity and is actually suffering from a liquidity issue? Why don't you rather be part of a community that is heavily identified those challenges, developed a platform, an ecosystem that addresses those challenges? And this is what you need to be proactive, think ahead, think long term, and this is how you will avoid all the regulatory scrutinies, and we will meet the standard and be amongst those that were proactively thinking ahead and added value into the crypto space. So this is what our platform is all about, and this is what the challenges we're facing in this industry. So I hope this brought more clarity to you, and you have a better understanding of what challenges we're facing in this space and how we as an ecosystem, as a community, we are addressing these challenges in a proactive way, forward thinking, thinking ahead with the investors' protection interest in our mind. So this was the message for today, community. Let me come back to you, to your comments, and see what you have here so that we can discuss even further. And maybe you have follow-up questions as well. Okay, Queen Mutakwa, good evening, Bullrun family. Good day, family. Crypto Riser here. Nice having you in the ecosystem as well. Good day, family. I am excited to be here for another amazing session with Steve and the Bullrun community. We are glad having you here as well, Crypto Riser. What do we have here? Compliance will be the key driver in 2024 and will set the standard on leaders in this crypto space. Absolutely. This is very important, like we discussed before. What's coming are regulations, and regulations will be tightened, and crypto projects will be scrutinized and will have to meet certain standards based on investor protection, based on inflation, based on what they're doing to retain reserves to ensure that the depositors will be able to exit their positions without any damage. And these are the things that we were thinking ahead and were addressing beforehand while we were developing this platform. So this will give us a leg up in competition, and this will set us apart indeed. Mr. Bright here. Nice having you back here, Mr. Bright. Was it not said in the good book, Proverbs? Wisdom, get understanding. My big brother Steve, you got great wisdom and understanding about crypto space and the financial world. I thank God for you. Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. You are very much appreciated. And you are also very much appreciated. And we thank you for your positive energy, your input, your consistency of always showing up to these community events. It means a lot to us all. Demo Crypto, what's going on, my brother? I hope you're well. Thank you for your input. 67.5% liquidity to market cap ratio is unheard of in this space. I don't think many yet realize how amazing this is. We have something great here. Absolutely, my brother Demo. This is something that many don't understand yet, based on because we don't have regulations yet. We don't have any standards yet that we have to meet. We don't have clear guidelines. We're not thinking about investor protection. We're not thinking about the challenges we face in the crypto space, which are liquidity crisis. Nobody even talks about this. Nobody even knows about this. Only smart money, which are institutions that we're all anticipating that will come and bring liquidity to Bitcoin. No, they're not. They're going to use over the counter because they're not going to be exit liquidity for no one. So this is why, if smart money is not doing it, why should we? Ask yourself the questions. Why are the regulators dragging their feet to approve those things? This is the reason why. But eventually, once the regulations start coming in, we will really appreciate what we have, because many still don't understand what we have. You're absolutely right, my brother Demo. This is another major thing. Survivor token has been just on fire. The queens there have been really putting in so much work to make this such a success. The Survivor token is unbelievable. The community is great. Everybody is asking, what else can I do? What value can I add? People are very proactive, and we have a lot to learn from the queens over there. And actually, Survivor is officially has the highest liquidity to market. Has the highest market cap amongst our three tokens. It's the number one right now as far as market cap is concerned. And I can't. On that note, I just have to share this. Let me share my screen. I have to share this. This is a major milestone. This is a major milestone. The Survivor token. It's the first and only cryptocurrency I know of personally, correct me if I'm wrong, that is fully dedicated to women. Of course, it's backed by men as well, because every man came out of a woman. And it has a great sentiment, great vision, and its mission is to empower the queens out there from all walks of life, from all geographic regions, to come together and have a platform, have a home where they can come together. So if we look at it's at all-time high right now. This is incredible. It's up by 148%. Its volume is 31,000 right now, over 31,000. Liquidity is 62,000, and it has a market cap of 478,000. So right now, market cap based, it's the top cryptocurrency right now as far as market cap is concerned, because Bullrun is below 300. So this is an amazing achievement in such a short period, and all this is organic and due to the hard work, consistency, and hard effort of the entire Survivor community. This is a movement. This is something that is just incredible, and I'd like to just break down the importance of this token and what it represents. I'd also like to go through the security features here, of course. Very important in these crypto projects. First of all, 100% of the tokens have been put into the liquidity. We had just discussed the importance of liquidity, and because we identified that that's an issue, we implemented the same strategies on the survivor token as well. 100% of the tokens are placed in the liquidity pool so that we don't cause any inflation to the token, but rather it's extremely deflationary now, because the only thing that comes out is these tokens that are being banned. And to highlight and show you how this works is, you see the largest wallet right now. This is the liquidity pool, number one wallet. This is the liquidity pool at 6%, 6.4%. But this second wallet, this is the ban wallet of Survivor, and it's closing in on 5.5% that is being banned. So we are closing in, we are about to have the same amount of tokens banned as we have in the liquidity pool. This is incredible. And this is coming out of a bear market. And this is very early on. We are still below 500,000 in market cap. We have a vibrant community that is extremely active, is literally holding a Zoom meeting every single day. And they have a VC every Tuesday. Even Fridays, they have events. They're extremely active, the entire community. And these are the type of projects you need to look at, because during a bull run, it will be too late. People don't get wealthy during the bull run. People get wealthy before the bull run, because you want to get positioned way early to maximize your efforts. Because right now, all you see is you see how the liquidity, the market cap is still low. And these are the low caps that you want to be involved with before all the liquidity starts entering the space. So I just wanted to highlight this. And also, the contract has been renounced, meaning that there is no changes that can be done by the developers, by us, or by anybody else. Liquidity has been locked for 100 years. You can see here. These are extremely important security features for cryptocurrencies. And these will be standards in the space. This will be a must. So I just wanted to really highlight and congratulate the entire Survivor community, which is of course part of under the umbrella of the Bullrun ecosystem. But they have their own Telegram group. I encourage you to be part of it. I encourage you to participate in this movement. If you're a woman, you need to be part of this. And if you're a man, you need to support it. It's a great movement. It has a great sentiment. It has a great narrative as well. So I'm posting the website down there for you, community, so that you'll be able to, if you want to be part of the community. So yes, thank you, Brother Glenn, for pointing that out. I just couldn't leave without, really highlighting and talking about the major achievements, the milestones, and how the community, the entire Survivor community, has been just putting so much work. Brother Theo asked something here. This life is yet another masterclass by great Brother Steve. Thank you so much. I have not come across another source, period, that breaks things down so that everyone new and old can understand. Thank you very much for your feedback, good Brother Theo. This is exactly what I also would have wished I had when I started the crypto space. My crypto journey is to really get a better understanding of the crypto market, how it works, and also about an ecosystem that is actually solving real-world challenges that we face in the industry. But there is no way you can tackle challenges of the industry if you don't understand how the industry works. So this is why it's very important for us, like Brother Theo said here, to educate the community of the broader market. It's important that we're all on the same page and understand how the market works, what the market is all about. And this is how we'll appreciate our ecosystem, because now we'll have a clear vision, clear understanding of what added value that we bring and what sets us apart as an ecosystem, as a community, especially once the regulations are put in place. That's when we will shine the most, because we have implemented strategies, mechanisms that cater towards investor protection and cater towards deflationary aspects, cater towards retaining liquidity, and so on and so forth. And as far as scalability, sustainability, we have all that covered way before the regulators will set standards and guidelines for us to meet. So thank you for your input and your feedback. Queen Grace, we need this kind of training oftentimes, please, Steve. We have 3 weekly events. We have 3 weekly events, actually. We have Saturdays, we have a VC on our Telegram group. Mondays, we are on Twitter Space. And today, like the one you participated in, welcome to the community. Thank you very much, Queen, for being part of these community events. And I agree with you. This is the reason why we do this consistently. These events are for you, the community, to be able to gain a better understanding of the market, the industry, of our ecosystem, of our different tokens, and just get an overall, well-rounded understanding of what the blockchain technology is about, the challenges, the opportunities, and so on and so forth. So definitely, this is very important that we have such trainings, and this is why we do this. We do this weekly events 3 times. And thank you for being part of this. Absolutely. I believe that was the last one. And I see there, if you check the group down in the chat, there are the links, also various links. There's so many links linking to the Survivor token, the Telegram group, and so on and so forth. I really encourage us all to rally behind this this movement. It's very important, Brother Theo. And I also want to thank you for not shying away from sharing with us things that savvy big investors keep to themselves and use to their personal advantage. You're all for the community. Thank you. Absolutely. These are things that smart money, they call them smart money for a reason, because they're not going to go through exchanges, because they understand and they know the challenges we're facing in this space. It's us retailers that are not being fed or not being educated or rightly guided to and informed to understand that any project right now in the crypto space that is not focusing on taking the advantage of solving the liquidity challenge in the long run, will be just like Bitcoin is. We'll have a huge issue in liquidity, especially the larger we get, because Bitcoin already is the largest cryptocurrency, and they already have like a 0.12% liquidity to market cap ratio. It takes 1 billionaire to destroy the entire ecosystem. So we don't want to be like that once we have that type of market cap. So as we are growing, this is why we want to be able to scale. And this is why we emphasize on making these weekly events as informational and educational as possible. And while we're doing that, of course, we want to inspire you to be better, to do better, and to understand so that you can make educated decisions as you're going through your crypto journey. So thank you for your feedback here as well, Brother Theo. Brother Franklin, Mr. Franklin, thank you so much again as well. Thank you, my brother Steve, for everything. Thank you also for being part of these events, weekly events. You're very much appreciated. Queen Koshi. Thank you once again, Mr. Steve, for yet another insightful session. Thank you too for being part of this session. Thank you for showing up, for being consistent and being part of this as well. With this said, community, I just want to thank all of you for taking your time for being part of this live stream today. Thank you for adding value to this ecosystem, because it's all about community. So I want us all always to be on the same page as far as education, information, because an educated community is a strong community, and education and knowledge is power. So let's all be educated and informed. Let's not fall for these old tricks. Let's be smart and rise above what we're being fed with the media. Let's not just be spoon-fed, but let's do our research. Let's be smart. Let's be educated and informed. Let's take advantage of these weekly events that we have. If you have any questions, these are the platforms for it. But even on our Telegram groups, on Twitter, we are very active on Telegram, on Twitter, and of course on YouTube as well. We have weekly Zoom sessions as well, led by our queens from the Survivor ecosystem, Survivor token group. They teach you everything from how to open a wallet, how to transfer your ETH to your new wallet, how to purchase our ecosystem tokens. It starts from the basic, and we excel, and then we go to more advanced. And depending on your questions individually, we also break them down in these community sessions as well. So we are all about educating and informing as we are preparing ourselves. It's one thing to make gains in the crypto space. It's one thing to make money in the crypto space, but it's a whole other thing. Can you exit? Can you take that money? Is that token retaining enough liquidity for you whenever you're ready to exit? Do you have enough liquidity? So think about this. It's one thing to make the money, but can you take that money? Is there enough money for you to take out? Ask yourself those questions. And if your ecosystem, your project, your cryptocurrency, is not working on retaining that for you, always know that you are that exit liquidity. And like we saw today, smart money doesn't go through exchanges because they know there is no liquidity. That's why we're tackling that challenge. With that said, on this note, I would like to wish everybody a wonderful rest of their Thursday and a wonderful rest of their week. Our next community event will be on Saturday. That will be on our main Telegram, Bullrun Telegram group. But like I said, the queens on the Survivor token, they're always they're there on a daily basis as well. So I encourage you to join the Telegram groups, follow us on Twitter, be part of this great movement, of this great token that just achieved all-time high after all-time high. We're up over 148% for the day. This is amazing, an amazing achievement, an amazing milestone. This is because the collective effort of every individual and the consistency, the hard work they put in collectively. This is what social network is all about. Everybody's using their talents, their strengths, their networks to better the token. Ask yourself, what can I do to better this token, to add value to this ecosystem? This is what community is all about. Our individual efforts count for us as a collective. With that said, community, once more, thank you very much for your participation. It was a pleasure interacting with you today. I'm looking forward to our next community event, which will be on Saturday on our Telegram group, a Bullrun Telegram group. If you have any follow-up questions, come join our community, be part of our community. We're looking forward to have a discussion or have a dialogue with you. With that said, I wish everybody a wonderful rest of their Thursday, wonderful rest of your week, and looking forward to see you soon again. Bye-bye, everyone, and thank you, everyone, for being here, for participating.